The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, volume 6, section 4, epistles 38. Khetri, 27th April 1893. Dear Doctor, your letter has just reached me. I am very much gratified by your love for my unworthy self. So and so sorry, so and so sorry to learn that poor Balaji has lost his son. The Lord gave and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. We only know that nothing is lost or can be lost. For us is only submission, calm and perfect. The soldier has no right to complain, murmur, if the general order him into the cannon's mouth. May he confront Balaji in his grief, and may it draw him closer and closer to the breast of all merciful mother. As to my taking ship from Madras, I do not think it feasible, as I have already made arrangements from Bombay. Tell Bhattacharya that Tell Bhattacharya that the Raja or my Guru Bhais would be the last men to put any obstacles in my way. As for the Rajaji, his love for me is simply without limit. May the giver of all good bless you. May the giver of all good bless you. All here and hereafter will be constant prayer, will be the constant prayer of Sachidanand. 39. Bombay, 24th May 1893. Dear Mother, very glad to receive your letter and that of dear Haripada. Please do not be sorry that I could not write to you very often. I am always praying to Lord for your welfare. I cannot go to Belgaum now, as arrangements are already off for my staying for America on 31st next. Lord willing, the Lord willing, I shall see you on returning from the travels in America and Europe. Always always resign yourself to the Lord Sri Krishna. Always remember that we are put like puppets in the Lord's hand. Remain pure always. Please be careful for not to become impure even in thoughts, as also in speech and action. Always try to do good to others as far as in you lies. And remember that the paramount duty of a woman is to serve her husband by thought, word, and deeds. Please read the Gita every day to the best of your opportunity. Why have you signed yourself as the Dasi, that is the maid servant? The Vaishya and the Shudra should sign as Dasa Dasi, but the Brahmin and Kshatriya should write Deva and Devi goddesses. Moreover, this distinction of caste and the like have been the invention of our modern sapient Brahmins. Who is a servant, and to whom? Everyone is a servant to the Lord Hari. Hence, a mother should use her patronymic, that is the surname of her husband. This is the ancient Vedic custom. As for example, such and such Mitra or the like, it is needless to write much. Dear mother, always know that I am constantly praying for your well being. From America, I shall now and then write you letters with descriptions of wonderful things there. I am now at Bombay and shall stay here up to the 31st. The private secretary to the Maharaja of Khetri has come here to see me off. With blessings, your sincerely Vivekanand. 40. From a letter written to H. the Maharaja of Khetri, America, 1894. It is not the building that makes the home, but it is the wife that makes it, says a Sanskrit poet. And how true it is. The roof that affords you shelter from heat and cold and rain is not to be judged by the pillars that support it. The finest Corinthian column, thou they be, but by the real spirit pillar, who is the center and the real support of the home, the woman. Judged by this standard, the American home will not suffer in comparison with any home in the world. I have heard many stories about American home, of liberty running into license, of unhumanly human smashing under their feet all the peace and happiness of the home life, of their mad liberty dance, and much nonsense of that type. And now, after a year experience of American homes, a American woman, how utterly false and erroneous that sort of judgment appears. American women 100 times would not be sufficient to pay my deep depth of gratitude to you. I have not words enough to express my gratitude to you. The Oriental hyperbole alone, alone expresses the depth of the Oriental gratitude. If the Indian Ocean were an inkstand, the highest mountain of the Himalaya, the pen, the earth, the scroll, and the time itself, the writer. Still, it will not express my gratitude to you. Last year, I came to this country in summer, a wandering preacher of a far distant country, without name, fame, wealth, and learning to recommend me. Friendless, helpless, almost in a state of destitution. And the American women befriended me, gave me shelter, food, took me to their home and treated me as their own son, their own brother. They stood my friends, even when their own priests were trying to persuade them to give up the dangerous heathen. Even when, day after day, their best friends had told them not to stand by this unknown foreigner, may be a dangerous character, but they are better judges of character and souls, for it is the pure mirror that catches the reflection. And how many beautiful homes I have seen. How many mothers would purity, whose purity of character, whose unselfish love for their children are beyond expression. How many daughters and pure maidens. Pure has the Icicle of on Diana's temple, and withal with much culture, education, and spirituality in the highest sense. Is America then full of only wingless angels in the shape of woman? There is good and bad everywhere, true, but a nation is not to be judged by its weakling called the wicked, as they are only the weeds which laid behind, but by the good, the noble, and the pure, who indicate the national life current to be flowing, clear, and vigorous. Do you judge of an apple tree and taste of its fruit by the unripened, undeveloped, womb eaten, even the that strew the ground, large even though they are numbered in be sometimes. If there is one ripe developed fruit, that one would indicate the powers, the possibility, and the purpose of the apple tree, and not hundreds that could not grow. And then the modern American woman. I admire their broad and liberal minds. I have seen many liberal and broad minded men too in this country, some even in the narrowest church. But here is the difference. There is danger with a man to become broad at the cost of religion, at the cost of spirituality. Women broaden out in sympathy to everything that is good and everywhere without losing a bit of their own religion. They intuitively know that it is a question of positivity and not negativity, a question of addition and not subtraction. They are every day, they are every day becoming aware of the fact that it is the affirmation or affirmative and a positive side of everything that shall be stored up, and that this very act of accumulating the affirmative and positive and therefore soul building forces of nature is what destroys the negative and destructive elements in the world. What a powerful achievement was the World's Fair at Chicago and that wonderful parliament of religion where voices from every corner of the earth expressed their religious ideas I was also allowed to present my own ideas through the kindness of Dr. Burrows and Dr. Boney. Mr. Boney is such a wonderful man. Think of that mind that planned and carried out with great success that gigantic undertaking, and he, no clergyman, a lawyer, presiding over the dignitaries of all the churches, the sweet, learned, patient Mr. Boney, with all his soul speaking through his bright eyes. Yours, Vivekananda. 41. Salutation to Bhagavan Ramakrishnan. Care of George W. Hale, Equist, 541 Dearborn Avenue, Chicago, 19th March 1894. My dear Shashi, Ramakrishna Ananda. I have not returned to you since coming to this country, but Haridas Bhai's letter gives me all the news. It is excellent that G.C. Ghosh and all of you have treated him with due consideration. I have no wants in this country, but mendicancy have no work here, and I have to labor. Places. That is lecture in places. It is as cold here as it is hot. The summer is not a bit less hot than in Calcutta. And how to describe the cold in the winter? The whole country is covered with snow, 3 to 4 feet deep, nay, 6 or 7 feet at places. In the south part, there is no snow. Snow, however, is a thing of little consideration here, for it shows when the mercury stands at 32 Fahrenheit in Calcutta, it scarcely becomes down to 60, and it rarely approaches zero in England. But here, yours mercury sinks to minus 4 or 5. In Canada, in the north, mercury becomes condensed when they have to use the alcohol thermometer. When it is too cold, that is, when the mercury stands even below 20 Fahrenheit, it does not snow. I used to think that it must be an exceedingly cold day on which the snow falls, but it is not so. It snows on comparatively warm days. Extreme cold produces a sort of intoxication. No carriages would run, only the sledge, which is without wheels, slides on the ground. Everything is frozen, stiff. Even an elephant can walk on rivers and canals and lakes. The massive fall of Niagara of such tremendous velocity are frozen to the marble. But I am doing nicely. I was a little afraid at first, but necessities makes me travel by rail to the borders of Canada one day, and the next day finds me lecturing in the South USA. The carriages are kept quite warm, like your own room, by means of steam pipes, and all around are masses of snow, spotless white. Oh, the beauty of it! I was mortally afraid that my nose and ear would fall off, but to this day they are all right. I have to go out, however, dressed in the heap of a warm clothing surmounted by fur coats with boots encased in the woolen jackets and so on. No sooner do you breathe out than the breath freezes among the beard and the mustaches. No, notwithstanding all this, the fun of it is that they won't drink water indoors without putting a lump of ice into it. This is because it is warm indoors, and every room and the staircases are kept warm by steam pipes. They are first and foremost in art and appliance, foremost in enjoyment and luxury, foremost in making money, and foremost in spending it. The daily wages of the coolie are 6 rupees, as also are those of the servant. You cannot hire a cab for less than 3 rupees, nor get a cigar for less than 4 annas. A decent pair of shoes costs 24 rupees and a suit 500 rupees. As they earn, so they spend. A lecture fetches from 200 up to 3,000 rupees. I have got up to 500s. Of course, now I am in a very heyday of fortune. They like me, and thousands of people come to hear me speak, as it pleased the Lord. I met here Mr. Masumdar. He was a very cordial at first, but when the whole Chicago population began to flock to me in overwhelming numbers, then grew the canker in his mind. The priests tried their utmost to snub me, but the Guru, teacher, is with me. What could anyone do or anybody do? And the whole American nation loves and respects me, pay my expenses, and rewards me as a guru. It was not in the power of your priest to do anything against me. Moreover, they are a nation of scholars. Here it would no longer do to say, we marry our widows, we do not worship idols, and things of that sort. What they want is philosophy, learning, and empty talk will not more do. Dharmapala is a fine boy. He has not much to learn of learnings, but is a very gentleman. He had a good deal of popularity in this country. Brother, I have been brought to my senses. We do not know what sort of people they are who for nothing hinder the welfare of others. Brother, we can get rid of everything but not of that cursed jealousy. That is the national sin with us, speaking ill of others and burning at heart at the greatness of others. Mine alone is the greatness, none else should rise to it. Nowhere in the world are women like those of this country. How pure, independent, self-reliant, and kind-hearted. It is the women who are the life and soul of this country. All learning and culture are centered in them. They say the saying, "Ya Shri Swayam Sukritinam Bhavaneshu." The saying, "Ya Shri Swayam Sukritinam Bhavaneshu," who is the goddess of the fortune herself in the families of the meritorious. For some time after Chicago addresses, Swami lectured on behalf of the lecture bureau. He soon gave it up as curtailing his independence and devoted most of the money thus earned to the various charitable works in USA and India. Chandi holds good in this country, while that others. Alakshmi Papatma Nam. Alakshmi Papatma Nam. The goddesses of ill luck in the homes of the sinful. Applies to us. Just think on this. Great God, I am struck dumb with the wonderment at seeing the woman of America. Thou art the goddess of fortune. Thou art the supreme goddess. Thou art modesty. The goddess who resides in all beings has power. All this holds good here. There are thousands of women here whose minds are as pure and white as the snow of this country. And look at our girls becoming mothers below their teen. Good Lord. I now see it all, brother. The gods are pleased where the women are held in esteem, says the old Manu. We are we are horrible sinners, and our degradation is due to our calling human despicable worms, getting gateways to hell, and so forth. Goodness gracious, there is all the difference between the heaven and hell. He adjusts gifts according to the merits of the case. Is the Lord to be hook-winged by the idle talk? The Lord has said, "Thou art the woman, thou art the man, thou art the boy and the girl as well." Shweta Shvetara Upanishad. And we on our part are crying, be off thou outcast, etc. Who has made the bewitching woman? My brother, what experiences I have had in the south of upper classes torturing the lower. What bachanalan origins orgies within the temples. Is it a religion that fails to remove the misery of the poor and turn the man into good or God? Do you think our religion is worth the name? Ours is only don't touching, only touch me not. Good heavens! A country, the bigger leader of which have for the last 2000 years been only discussing whether to take food with the right hand or a left hand, whether to take water from the right side or left side. Is such a country does not go to ruin, what other will? Time keeps wide awake when all else sleeps. Time is invincible indeed. He knows it. We who is there to throw dust in his eyes, my friend? A country where millions of people live on flowers of the muha plant, and millions or two of sadhus, and 100 millions and so of the Brahmins suck the blood out of a poor people without even the least effort of their ameliorations. Is that country? Is that a country or a hell? Is that a religion or a devil dance? My brother, here is one thing that for you to understand fully. I have traveled all over India and seen this country too. Can there be a effect without cause? Can there be punishment without sin? सर्वशास्त्रपुराणेषु व्यासस्य वचनं ध्रुवम् सर्वशास्त्रपुराणेषु व्यासस्य वचनं ध्रुवम् परोपकार पुण्याय पापाय परपीडनम् परोपकार पुण्याय पापाय परपीडनम् admits all the scriptures and Puranas know this statement of Vyas to be true, that doing good to others conducts to merit, and doing harm to them leads to sin. Is not it true? My brother, in view of all this, especially of the poverty and ignorance, I have no sleep. At Cape Comorin, sitting in Mother Kumari's temple, sitting on the last bit of Indian rock, I hit upon a plain. We are so many sannyasin wandering about and teaching the people metaphysics. It is all madness. Did not our Gurudevs used to say, an empty stomach is no good for religion? That those poor people are leading the life of brutes is simply due to ignorance. We have for all ages been sucking their blood and trampling them underfoot. Suppose some disinterested, suppose some disinterested sannyasin bent on doing good to others, go from village to village, disseminating education and seeking in various ways to better the conditions of all down to the chandala, all down to the chandala through oral teachings and by means of map, cameras, globes, and such other accessories, cannot that bring forth good to in time? All these plans I cannot write out in a short letter. The long and short of it is, if the mountain does not move to Mohammedan, then Mohammedan must go to the mountain. The poor are too poor to come to the school and pashalas, and they will gain nothing by reading poetries and all that sort of things. We, as a nation, have lost our individuality, and that is the cause of all mischief in India. We have to give back to the nation its lost individuality and raise the masses. The Hindu, the Mohammedans, the Christians all have trampled them underfoot. Again, the force to raise them must come from inside, that is, from the Orthodox Hindu. In every country, the evils exist not with but against religion. Religion, therefore, is not to blame but man. To effect this, the first thing we need is men, and the next is funds. Through the grace of our Guru, I was sure to get from 10 to 15 men in every town. I next traveled in search of funds. But do you think the people of India were going to spend money? Selfishness personified, and are they to spend anything? Therefore, I have come to America to earn money myself and then return to my country and devote the rest of my days to the realization of this one aim of my life. As our country is poor in social virtues, so this country is lacking in spirituality. I give them spirituality and they give me money. I do not know how long I shall take to realize my end. These people are not hypocrites and jealous. Jealousy is although absent in them. I depend on no one in Hinduism. I shall try to earn wherewithal myself to the best of my might and can carry out my plans or die in this attempt. When death is certain, it is best to sacrifice oneself for a good cause. You may perhaps think what Ethiopian's nonsense all this is. You think now, what is in me? If any of you help me in my plan, all right. Or Gurudev will show me the way out. We cannot give up jealousy and rally together. That is our national scene. It is not to be met with in this country, and this is what has made them so great. Nowhere in the world have I come across such frogs in the well as we are. Let anything new come from some foreign country, and America will be the first to accept it. But we, oh, there are none like us in the world, we men of Aryan blood where that hereditary really expresses itself, I do not see, yet they are descendants of Aryans. Ever yours, Vivekanand. 42 Chicago, 23rd June 1894. Dear sir, your kindness to me makes me venture to take a little advantage of it. Mr. Potter Palmer is the chief lady of Mrs. Potter Palmer is the chief lady of the United States. She was the lady president of the World's Fair. She is most interested in raising the women of the world and is at the head of the big organization of women. She is a particular friend of a Lady Dufferin, and has been entertained by the royalties of Europe on the account of her wealth and position. She has been very kind to me in this country, and she is going to make a tour in China, Japan, and India. Of course, she will be entertained by the governors and other high people in India, but she is particularly anxious to see our society apart from English official aids. I have on many occasions told her about the noble efforts in raising the Indian woman of your wonderful college in Mysore. I think it is our duty to show a little hospitality to such personage from America in return to their kindness to our countrymen who came here. I hope she will find a warm reception at our hands, and he and be helped to see a little of our women as they are. And I assure you, she is no missionary nor Christian even has to that. She wants to work apart from all religions to ameliorate the conditions of women all over the world. This would also be helping me a great deal in this country. May the Lord bless you. Yours forever and ever, affectionately, Vivekanand. 43. Care of George W. Hale, Queens, 541 Dearborn Avenue, Chicago, 26 June 1894. Dear sister, the great Hindu poet Tulsidas. Dear sister, the great Hindu poet Tulsidas is in his benediction to the translation of Ramayana says, I bow down to both the wicked and the holy, but alas, for me, they are both equally torturers. The wicked begin to torture me as soon as they come in contact with me. The good, alas, takes my life away when they leave me. I say Amen to this. To me, for whom the only pleasure and love left in the world is to love the only holy ones of God. It is the mortal torture to separate myself from them. But these things must come. Thou music of my beloved flute leads on. I am following. It is impossible to express my pain, my anxiousness at being separate from you, noble and sweet and generous and holy ones. Oh, how I wish I had succeeded in becoming a stalk. Stock. Hope you are enjoying the beautiful village scenery where the world is awake. There the man of self control is sleeping. Where the world sleeps, there he is waking. May even the dust of the world never touch you, for after all the poets may say it is only a piece of carrions covered over with garlands. Touch it not. If you can, come up, young one of the bird of paradise, become your feet touch the sepulchres of the corruption, this world, and fly upward. Oh, those that are awake to do not go to sleep again. Let the world love its many. We have but one beloved, the Lord. We care not what they say. We are only afraid when they want to paint our beloved and give him all sort of monstrous qualities. Let them do whatever they please. For us, he is only the beloved. My love, my love, my love, and nothing more. Who cares to know how much good or how much power, how much quality he has, even that of doing good? We will say once for all, we love not for the long purse. We never sell our love. We want not, we give. You philosophers come to tell us of his essence, his power, his attributes, fools. We are here dying for a kiss of his lips. Take yourself back to your own home and send me a kiss of my love. Can you? Fool, whom art thou, bending thy tottering knees before it, awake and fear? I took my necklace and put it around his neck, and tying a string to it as a collar. Or I am dragging him along with me, for fear he may fly away even for a moment. That necklace was a collar of love, that string, the ecstasy of love. Fool, you know not the secret, the infinity. One comes within myself, my first. One comes within my first under the bondage of love. Knowest thou not that the Lord of the universe is the bond slave of love? Knowest thou not that the mover of the universe used to dance to the music of the ringing bracelets of the shepherdesses of Vrindavan? Excuse my mad scribbling. Excuse my foolery in trying to express in the inexpressible. It is to be felt only, ever with blessings. Your brother Vivekanand.